Am I the asshole? Left wallet in best friend's car. She's mad because I had my cards canceled. So, I left my wallet in my best friend's car over the weekend. Every time we set a time to meet, she cancels, changes the time, or has an excuse as to why she can't meet for me to get my wallet. I offered to go to her house, but she's never home. So I told her I'm just going to have my debit card and the other cards I have in my car wallet canceled and or reported as stolen. She flipped her shit and told me I'm a bitch and an asshole for doing that, and that it shows how bad of a friend I am for not trusting her, and how I'm bullying her by treating her like a theft and criminal.
You better run me my money. And then she doubles down and it's like, you don't trust me? Why would I trust the person that won't give me back my money?
Right.
Do you sound like a trustworthy? Would you trust you right now?
In the moment she says, it's fine, whatever, I'm just going to cancel the cards. Why would you do that? You're a bitch.
That was a weird reaction.
Yeah, that was the weirdest
That's such
reaction
a weird reaction.
My twin sister, 18 female, and I, 18 female, took a genetic test and we do not share any DNA. What should my next steps be when no one in the family is telling me why?
Wait, what? Hold on, wait.
Little mystery here.
Hold on. You took a DNA test. Turns out you're not 100% related to that girl.
Oh. Bling bling, cause I got it. That's the Gerald in me.
Oh no.
But I'm saying like
My twin, 18 female, and I, 18 female, are fraternal twins. Recently, we took a genetic test for fun because we wanted to see what we shared and the differences between us. Since we still share genes, fraternal twins are like siblings genetically. My grandparents had suggested the test and got them for us, so our parents didn't know about it. But our results made no sense. My twins was coming up almost completely as Eastern European and Western European, which made sense as most of my family are Croatian, German, or Austrian. So all of that would be accurate. But mine wasn't anything like that. It was almost completely Scandinavian, with some Russian and a couple of other places, neither of which were on my twin's result. She had a very small percentage of Scandinavian, but that was it. And we had no matched DNA, which clearly seems impossible. We were literally twins. We have to share DNA. My twins said they must have mixed up my sample with somebody else. We ended up contacting the company, and my twin and I took a test again. It was the same result. Both my twin and I were really confused. We told our grandparents, and they said that that was interesting and said nothing else.
they know.
My twin said we should tell our parents and see if they have ever done a genetic test or if any of our siblings had. And then we could see if somehow ours were still right. I mean, it kind of made sense. I'd have Scandinavian because I'm much taller than my mom and quite a bit taller than my twin, and I'm way better at football and handball than she is. I'm very blonde compared to the rest of my family, but I thought it was the German. When we told our parents, they reacted almost the same way as my grandparents, but seemed annoyed. And they said that's they're inaccurate anyway, and our grandparents shouldn't have told us to take one. And when we asked our father, he basically said nothing. I'm confused. I know my twin thinks it was just a mistake, but I don't think so. We have to share DNA, about 50%. That's how twins and siblings work. Mm-hmm. Even though we're fraternal, we should still share quite a bit of DNA, but other explanations don't make sense. My mother can't have cheated on my father because my twin and I would still share DNA, just less because we would have different fathers. The results mean we can't share a parent or even be related. But I don't see why my parents would adopt me if I'm not their child, when I don't think they've ever been to Scandinavia, and why would they adopt a baby that's almost the exact same age as their baby? I'm panicking. The person I'm closest with in the world, who I thought I even shared the womb with, might not even be related to me. My birthday might not even be real. None of this makes any sense, and no one is telling me the truth. I'm also scared my twin might tell her boyfriend about it, and then people might end up knowing that I'm some kind of fraud, and my family isn't my family at all. And then I'll read this edit. I called the clinic where my mother gave birth to all my siblings. The day of my birthday, my mother is in the records, but only for one birth, not two, not twins. I don't know if it's an error or if my mom didn't give birth to me. So I'm adopted, which was probably quite obvious as soon as I got the results, but I guess I was in denial. My parents told me a couple of days ago, not much, but a bit. I know now that my mother was Danish and my father's old girlfriend for when he was really young, which is seriously weird. I asked them a lot of questions, but I didn't get a lot of answers. I don't know who my father is, how my parents were able to adopt me, and why, if she was even alive. Nothing. But thankfully, I am legally adopted by them, which is a relief. Since I was worried I might not be, and my birthday is actually my birthday, so they haven't been committing any weird fraud. It's very weird. My sister has been acting weirdly, and my family as well, but in some ways it's a relief. My parents still feel like my parents, and my siblings still feel like my siblings. I know that technically they're not, but I don't feel upset about it. I'm just upset that they lied, and also won't tell me anything. I don't know if they genuinely don't know or if they don't want to talk about it, but at least I have an idea about everything now. I'm still not quite sure how I feel about it, but I'm glad I know about things now. Plus, I have a country that's actually good at football to support, which is nice. Maybe someday I'll find out everything, maybe not. I could probably look her up and find her if I wanted to, but I'm not sure if I do, if she's still alive. Although everything is different, it doesn't feel so bad, but it does at the same time. It's very weird. But I have a family that loves me, so it could be much worse. I feel sad about my twin since we're not actually related, which feels really different, and she's acting different as well. But I still love her a lot, and my parents as well. I think it will take some time to know how I really feel. In some ways, I want to be mad at everyone and do stupid things, but that's only sometimes. And overall, I feel okay, so that's good. And eventually, I think I'll be content with how everything is. And that's what we have. Am I the asshole for ignoring our daughter's inconvenient boundary?
Inconvenient boundary?
Yes.
Inconvenient boundary.
My wife, 39 female, and I, 36 female, have a daughter, technically my stepdaughter, but I raised her since she was 5. 19 female, from a previous relationship of my wife's. Her father is not in the picture, who has come back home after her first year at uni. She picked up a new and problematic issue since she was last home for an extended period of time surrounding laundry. Basically, she has established a boundary where nobody is to touch her clothes. Her reasoning is that she's concerned something will go missing / get damaged, thinks it's just gross for us to go through her stuff, and is an adult who deserves privacy. All fine, and we have 3 young children in our home, 9 female, and 2 male. So plenty of washing to keep us entertained. The issue is that she has a habit of monopolizing washing facilities to the extent where we're effectively prevented from being able to get any other laundry done.
Yeah. Yikes.
For example, last weekend, she put a wash in before work and hung it out on the line around 11 a.m. She then left for work, 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. Her wash was dry within an hour, and obviously she wasn't going to be back all day. We had a few days worth of washing to get through, so my wife, her mom, took everything off the line and folded it. We got through 5 other loads that day. She was not happy when she got home and said that she had been very clear that we weren't to touch her things. When we explained the situation above, she said that it was first come, first serve, not something we've ever said, and that since the next day was due to be nice too, we should have just waited to get through it the next day. That really pissed us off. We've offered her a weekly laundry day where we'll avoid using the machine so she can have freedom to do as she pleases on that day.
Right.
But she says once a week won't cut it. Fair enough, but there are 5 other people in this house that need clean clothes / bedding / towels. Other than that, all we can really suggest is that she keeps up on top of her washing. If she's not at home, we'll ask her to clear her clothes from the machine / dryer / washing line as needed. But like any other 19-year-old, she has a social life and work commitments and is often busy. She's upset because she says we're not respecting her boundaries, whereas we've pointed out that while don't move my clothes is objectively reasonable, it's not fair for her to do so at the inconvenience of everyone else in the house. Essentially, the last conversation we had ended up with her in tears because we said as long as the situation like Saturday keeps occurring, we'll continue to move her stuff. Just FYI, we do fold her clothes carefully and leave them in a basket in a communal living area so they're kept together in good condition and we're not going in and out of her room. We normally have a good relationship with her, so this is a bit unusual. We've asked her if everything else is okay, and she says yes and seems otherwise normal in and of herself, and she's normally reasonable. So are we being unreasonable? And then there's a few edits kind of explaining her behavior. But so edit number 1. So the consensus is pretty much that we're right and our daughter is being massively unreasonable and that we're being pushovers for not being tougher on her from the off. We've shown her the comments, and unfortunately, she's still insisting that we're the unreasonable ones. We've never considered the local laundromat and have banned her from using our washing machine for the next fortnight, given she's still unwilling to adjust.
Okay.
She's absolutely furious, and wife has ordered a lock for the washroom door to enforce the 2-week rule.
Oh, it's only 2 weeks?
Fortnight. Hopefully, a couple of weeks hauling her stuff to and from will help her see the light. Thank you very much, all. And then edit number 2. A slightly calmer update this morning. Our daughter came to talk to us and apologize for the situation. She has found the transition back home hard. I get that. And had maybe become a bit territorial over her stuff while at uni. All okay. She then asked if she could please have a laundry day and be allowed to use the machine. Her place of work is closed Mondays, so that's now her day. And we said that she can use the machine on other days, but if by 7 a.m. Tuesday there's anything in the way or any issues on any other days, we'll be moving her stuff. A genuine sorry goes a long way with us, and while the advice had been to hold firm, we really don't want an issue if the situation can be resolved calmly. We've also made it clear that if her things do have to be moved on any day other than Monday, which is totally hers, and we get any grief about it, we'll go back to a 2-week ban and there's no going back. Maybe a less satisfying update than the last one, but we're happy we can resolve the problem calmly. She did mention she read through some of the comments last night, so thank you to everyone that weighed in. Am I the asshole for telling my husband Happy Father's Day today because it felt like I was doing it all alone? This morning, I woke up early to order myself coffee so he could take our son to pick it up and surprise me. Then they went to the grocery store and thoughtfully picked out my favorite breakfast and came home. My husband made half of the breakfast and then asked me to make the other half. No problem. He acknowledged that he was asking me to do the work and still taking the credit for the benefit of our kids' experiences and memories. It was no problem until he went upstairs to go to the bathroom. And after 45 minutes, I walked upstairs to check on him and he was asleep in our bed.
Oh my God.
He slept the entire afternoon.
What?
Later that day, I was doing the absolute mountain of dishes, my 3rd load for the day. That's another story.
What?
And he asked me to make a grocery list. I asked if he could make the list because I'm in the middle of doing the dishes and further tried to coax him by using Mother's Day in a playful way. I really didn't want to drop what I was doing to look in the fridge he was already standing in front of to tell him what we needed for dinner. He knew what the ingredients are and he could have easily looked for them himself. But he insisted that I help him. I was super frustrated, so I took a deep breath, washed and dried my hands, and then opened the fridge and started telling him what we needed. He could sense my frustration and called me out on it. I explained that I was really hoping that he could make a list himself, just this once, because I was in the middle of doing the dishes. I explained that when I make a grocery list, I just look at what we have and I write down what we don't have.
Yeah.
I didn't understand why he needed my help. He started talking over me to say if I had a problem making a grocery list with him, I should have just told him. And I told him that I did communicate that with him. And he told me that I needed to learn some patience. I smiled and said Happy Father's Day because it was the nicest thing I could think to say. That completely set him off. He went off on me, refused to get ingredients and make dinner, brought home dinner for himself and our kids, and has been giving me the silent treatment for over an hour. He says I went too far. Am I the asshole? And then there's just a small edit. So she said, wow, I did not realize I was going to wake up to have so much to read. Thank you all for your feedback. I've been enjoying my self-brewed coffee this morning and taking in your responses. I have a lot to look over and think about. I know divorce is the obvious answer. And then edit number 2. Then she says, no, Divorce isn't the obvious answer for this specific incident. No, I'm not using Reddit as a poll for whether or not to leave my marriage.
Oh.
Both of our mothers are dead, unfortunately. Our children are 6 and under. It's common for parents to help facilitate that day. 6-year-olds and toddlers can't be responsible for celebrating their parents. I didn't expect anything from him. I know it's just a Hallmark consumerism holiday. People who have commented are correct in saying that this incident is just representative of every other day, but magnified by the fact that Mother's Day was a particularly shitty day to choose to be particularly shitty. I felt like maybe I was the asshole for making the petty comment. I am neurodivergent, and sometimes I have trouble picking up on if I did something wrong that I maybe didn't realize was something wrong to say or do. I appreciate all your anecdotes of your strength and the ability to move forward after leaving an exhausting marriage. It's inspiring. And then top comment is, the correct response was, sure, here, you finish the dishes while I make the list. And then after the quotes, always feed their strategic incompetence right back to them. Sorry about your day. It sucks, and you're not the asshole.